Good evening, everybody, as you continue to find your seats. Welcome to the Spring High School Band Concert. Right on cue. Tonight is a very special performance. We have the Symphonic Band, we have the Wind Ensemble, and we have a local fantastic community group, and we'll introduce them later. We're also doing our senior awards tonight, so there's going to be a whole lot of clapping. Your hands should be a little raw by the end. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Lichtenfeld, the conductor of the Symphonic Band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Lichtenfeld. The ensemble joining me on stage this evening is the Randolph High School Symphonic Band, and we are proud to be performing for your listening enjoyment. We hope you enjoyed that powerful and heartfelt piece, The Fire of Eternal Glory by Dmitri Shostakovich, originally written to honor the bravery and sacrifice of soldiers during World War II. This piece reminds us of the strength and resilience of the human spirit, even in the darkest times. I'd like to take this opportunity to express a few words of gratitude. Thank you to the students for your tremendous efforts and unwavering dedication to the love of music and its performance, which has led to our collective success. Thank you to the parents for your constant support of your children, encouraging their practice habits, and for your commitment to, lost my place. Encouraging their practice habits, and for your commitment to bringing them to and from all of our wonderful music-related extracurricular and co-curricular activities and rehearsals. The parents! We extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. D'Egidio and the Randolph School District Administration, as well as Ms. Baxter and the RHS Administration for all of your support. To my fellow music teachers, your teamwork and dedication are what make our shared success possible. A special thanks goes out to Mr. Norell, Mr. McElroy, and Mr. Bizzano, whose expertise in sound and lighting elevate our performances to professional heights. The incredible contributions and dedication of the Randolph High School BPA, our Band Parents Association, has been instrumental in enriching our wonderful band program, and we can't say thank you enough. Together, we've built a strong and vibrant music community here in Randolph, one that I'm truly proud to be a part of. And we're continuing a tradition shaped by those who came before us, whose efforts helped make this possible: students, parents, teachers, and administration. Thank you, everyone, for your commitment to keeping music alive and resonant here in Randolph. Please enjoy our next piece for the evening, selections from Disney Pixar's Up. This year, the Randolph High School Symphonic Band performed at the NJSMA Concert Band Festival and proudly brought home a silver rating. Not in my script, but I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and thank the many sectional coaches and our guest conductor who came in to help us out so much, Mr. Matt Paterno. He's here tonight, everybody. Folks, I couldn't be more proud of this incredible group of students. Their dedication, musicianship, and teamwork truly shined through, and their performance was a testament to all the hard work we've put in throughout the year. I am extremely proud of this year's band and so thankful for the opportunity to work with them at every rehearsal. It's been a fantastic year with Simba. There are two more groups of people who I'd like to give thanks to. The first is my Symphonic Band Council, affectionately known as Simba Council. Simba Council, can you stand? The Simba Council helps me to connect with the ensemble even more. They help me pick some of our tunes. They're a group of students who give up a lot of their time to just help out our ensemble the best way they can. And it truly means the world to me that so many of our students have volunteered to be on the council. Simba Council, thank you. Lastly, our seniors, Natasha, Samantha, and Nex. This year's senior class is truly something special. They've faced more than their fair share of challenges, including a global pandemic, and have come through it all with resilience, optimism, and grit. No matter what was thrown their way, they showed up, gave it their all, and supported one another every step of the journey. Their strength and adaptability have been nothing short of inspiring. These are qualities that will carry them far beyond high school into whatever paths they choose next. Watching them grow into the leaders and role models that they are today has been an honor. Their perseverance is a reminder of what's possible when you stay committed and keep moving forward. Seniors, as I say your name, you're already standing and you've already moved. So, Natasha Loseva on flute. Samantha Castillo on flute. And Nex Bortnick on tuba. Seniors, I wish you all the success in the world, and I will miss you dearly. Please be sure to keep in touch and visit often. Thank you, seniors.
Hi, everyone. Unfortunately, the gift we wanted to present Mr. L has not yet arrived. But we still wanted to publicly thank him for all he has done. Today was our last rehearsal, and Mr. L opened with a speech. He told us all how proud he was of us, of our work, of our dedication, and of our effort. But the part that stuck with me the most was when he thanked the seniors specifically. He ended it saying, "I hope you know, seniors, that I don't just see you as students, but as friends." I didn't get to tell him, as, well, it was our last rehearsal, but I don't see him just as one of the best teachers I have ever had. I also see him as a friend. You see, Mr. L has always emphasized passion in our playing and everything we do. Dedication and effort to our craft, and a constant positive attitude, no matter how daunting our circumstances may be, or how hard the music may seem. And on top of this ambitious attitude, he still took time out of his day to ask every single student in our very big ensemble how their day is in every part of their lives. I've had teachers who picked favorites in class of 20s. Mr. L cares about each and every single one of us in a class of well over 40. To say that he is a truly caring and compassionate individual while also pushing us to be our best is an understatement. I will never have another teacher like Mr. L. And for that, I wanted to thank him. Now I'd like to pass the microphone over to Natasha, who also has something to say.
So, I promise to make this quick. I know the rehearsal is going to be long if I don't. I just wanted to take a moment to thank someone who has made a huge difference into my life. For the past 4 years, my band teacher, well, our band teacher, Mr. L, you have been more than just a teacher. You've been a guide, a supporter, and someone who believed in me, even when my flute notes weren't exactly concert ready. Through last block rehearsals, no matter how drowsy we are, tough pieces, and unforgettable performances, you've taught me more than just music. You've shown me the value of hard work, the importance of listening, and most importantly, how to keep the horses safe. Thank you for your patience, your passion, and your belief in every one of us. I'll carry that with me wherever I go, whether it's Rowan or just a few blocks now. And like you said, Mr. L, it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later.
All right, folks, without further ado, thank you, seniors. We hope you'll sit back, relax, and enjoy our final selection, John Philip Sousa's The Thunderer.
Good evening, everyone. This fine ensemble behind me is the Randolph High School Wind Ensemble. The last tune we just did was Satiric Dances by Norman Delajoyo, probably one of our most difficult pieces that we've had to play this year. This group has had a fantastic year. Unique to this year, we had two different honors that we got to play at. One was first at the NJMEA State Convention in Atlantic City back in February that we were chosen for to play at, and we were able to play for hundreds of music educators down in Atlantic City, and it's been at least 10 years since we've gone down there and done that, so the students worked really hard for that, and they performed magnificently. And then also, we were able to go chosen for the State Gala, which was just last month, so we had two different performances, which the students really worked a lot on to sound fantastic. So please give them a round of applause. So Mr. L already said a lot of our thank yous for tonight. I want to recognize our seniors that are on the stage. We have quite a few. We like to do this every spring concert. We have a great group of seniors this year. They have really been leaders musically in our ensemble, very dedicated to the program, and are just great human beings. They're fantastic people to know. So I'd like to just call their name, and if they could stand and be recognized, the seniors class of 2025. In the clarinet section, we have Riley Brown. In the saxophones, we have Alyssa Cullen. Haley Ross, also on saxophone. On French horn, Ashley Rondon. On trombone, Gerald Creighton. On trumpet, Anya Srivastava. Priya George. And Angela Remick. And then we have three percussionists, if they can wave. We have Leah Weinstock, Rowana Blong, and Aishwarya Haraharan. Seniors, you guys are amazing. It looks like they want to say something. Okay, come on up. You guys are great, fantastic. All right, here we go.
Hello everyone, good evening, and thank you all for coming out here to support the bands of Randolph. On behalf of all the seniors, we would like to thank Mr. Mack and the tech crew for always being here to help us with our stage presence, and the band teachers and administrators, Mr. L, Mr. Fantazi, Mr. Norell, Mr. Eskin, Miss May, and Mr. Diagidio for all their help and their guidance over these last 4 years. Specifically, we would like to recognize the one and only Mr. Fantazi.
Hi, I'm going to keep this super short because the concert's already long enough. Taz, we just want to say how grateful we are for you and everything you've done to help further our musical careers. You have taught us so many unforgettable skills and techniques that we can assure you we will utilize forever, but I can't say that the Grandmaster scale will make it into our warm-ups. Besides that, we're grateful for all the laughs and fun memories during band. Thank you for everything, and we hope you like the gift we got you. This is us forgiving you for making us sight read the Eagles fight song freshman year.
Yeah, so you kind of have to open it like right now. No. Show everyone. Number 25 in the class of 2025, Mr. Fantazi.
Hi, I'm going to keep this really short, I promise. This is for Mr. Fantazi, but just as well as for every other music teacher I've had in the band program. I'm an aspiring music teacher. I just want to say thank you for pushing me. For when, frankly, sophomore year, I wasn't sure if I was going to do band, or junior year, or senior year, I wasn't sure if I was going to do marching band. You pushed me to do it anyways, and thank you. I can thank you a million times, it wouldn't be enough.
Wow, that was amazing. I was not expecting a jersey with my name on it. That is insanely nice. Thank you again. What did I tell you about these seniors? They're amazing, right? One more round of applause for the seniors. Oh, thank you. We're gonna keep this rolling. Wind Ensemble has one more tune we're gonna play for you. It's called Refrigeration, which sounds like a weird name for a piece. It's a play off of the Phrygian mode, which is just a type of mode in music, so it has a unique sound to it. This is Refrigeration by Todd Stalter. Give us a few moments while we get our symphonic band on stage for the combined number that Wind Ensemble and Symphonic Band will do. Thank you. If we could have our BPA Exec Board Committee come up to the stage, they're going to be presenting the BPA Scholarship Awards.
Hi, I'm not presenting the awards. I'm going to leave that to Mrs. Davidson. But I just wanted to thank all the parents, all the teachers, all the students. This is actually an end of a Creighton era. We've been here since a long time. And I want to congratulate and welcome in our new board eventually. But guys, you guys are absolutely amazing students. Absolutely amazing. On the field, in this auditorium, and I just wanted to thank you for just being you, because these are some of the best kids I have ever met in my entire life. Can we give them a hand? Can we ask the seniors to stand up one more time? Seniors, congratulations and good luck in all you do. You're going to be amazing in whatever you decide to do. But keep music in your hearts. This is the best place to be. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, I'm Christy Davidson. It is my absolute privilege to serve on the BPA Executive Board as the Vice President of Awards and Recognitions. And now it is my honor, on behalf of the BPA Scholarship Committee, to present scholarships to several of the students up here on the stage tonight. I had a bunch of thank yous. They all bear repeating. I'm going to do them very briefly because I know you've heard a lot of thank yous already. Students, thank you, thank you, thank you. Parents, thank you. And the entire music staff from elementary on up, thank you. The administration, thank you. And my personal thank you to the BPA Executive Board, who have poured their heart and soul into ensuring that all of these students have the best program ever and that they can continue to thrive and have some fun in the music world wherever they may go along the way. So, BPA Board President Christina Creighton, who's just up here. VP of Fundraising, Vicki Fortle. Secretary, Jennifer Weinstock. And our treasurer and next year's president, Karen Ford, who's with the Hanover Wind Symphony back there. Right. And shameless plug, if you're interested in serving on the board next year, see me or Karen tonight. We have space. All right, so now I would like to thank the scholarship committee. We had 10 people this year who devoted their time dedicated to looking at all of these applications and really making sure that everything ran smoothly. So they are, if you are here tonight, wave, Lauren Bockenheimer, Erica Britton, Marcy Charm, Stacy Marshall, Deb Millard, Larry Peters, Jen Vitale, Nancy Vogt, Jamie Welker, and Ping Ping Zong. Thank you. All right, one last announcement before we get to the scholarships. Band students, please join us afterwards in the hallway back here for cake and refreshments. And seniors, we have gifts. So back there. All right, Each year, the BPA invites graduating students who have been members of any aspect of the band program, including band class, marching band, color guard, jazz band, various ensembles, etc., and who plan to attend a 2 or 4-year institution following graduation to apply for scholarships. The application consists of their resume, an essay about what the band program has meant to them, and a teacher evaluation. The teachers were asked to evaluate the applicants based on character, attitude, respect for peers and staff, work ethic, and enthusiasm for the program. I removed names and other personal identifiers from the applications before sharing them with the scholarship committee members, who applied a rubric to evaluate each applicant's resume for an indication of their commitment to music, leadership, other extracurricular activities like clubs, sports, and other things, accomplishments and awards, work experience, and community service. The committee members also applied the rubric to evaluate each essay to identify well-written, compelling, authentic enthusiasm for the band program. The committee members and teacher evaluation scores were aggregated, and the students with the top scores were identified as the recipients of this year's scholarships. No committee members had graduating seniors, and the scholarship process was walled off from the BPA executive board members who do. Tonight is the first time any parent other than Karen and I will hear the names of the recipients. This is also the first time the names of all the committee members have been shared. Thank you to every student who applied. It is always so rewarding to read the essays and feel the emotion, dedication, and fond memories that you share of the band program. All of the applicants were qualified, and we wish we could grant scholarships to you all. Students, when I call your name, please join me at the podium and remain here until all 4 scholarships have been announced. The 2025 BPA scholarship recipients are Leah Weinstock, Haley Ross, Priya George, and Rawana Buan. Each of you will receive your actual check in the senior awards night in June. Yeah, and then, yeah. All right. I also have the honor tonight to announce the Matt Augustine Honor Award with Jill and Mike Augustine here as well to present it. I'm gonna hand this. The Augustine family established this award to honor the memory of their son, Matthew. Matt was an incredible young individual. He was a member of the front ensemble of Emerging Rams, a percussionist, and an avid gamer. Matt had those qualities we want to see in all of our own children: kindness, strength of character, respectfulness, and quick to share a smile with anyone he encountered. The band program staff were asked to nominate students they believe best exemplify these traits. Although it was a very difficult choice, ultimately, one student was selected. This person will receive a scholarship, and their name will be added to the plaque hung here at the high school as an inspiration and remembrance for all to see. Band staff described this year's recipient as selfless, responsible, dependable, kind, understanding, and a natural leader. someone who has consistently demonstrated remarkable perseverance and a drive to complete tasks despite obstacles. A winning yet caring attitude that is evident in interactions with peers, and a positive, respectful demeanor that makes her a role model for others. A person who has the ability to inspire and uplift those around them that truly sets them apart. It is with great honor and pleasure that I announce the recipient of the 2025 Matthew Augustine Honor Award. Congratulations, Rowana Buon. And later tonight, I'm going to put this up on the plaque for everybody to see.
please give us just a moment to clear the stage. And we'd like to welcome onto the Randolph High School stage Mr. Matthew Paterno and the Hanover Wind Symphony.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your patience. My name is Matthew J. Paterno, and I have the privilege and the pleasure of being the director of the Hanover Wind Symphony. If you wonder why I say it that way, it's mostly because every week I get to make music with 65 of my closest friends. And it's a wonderful thing we love to do. Our mission statement says our goal is to bring music to people and people to music. But we love doing that as well. But before we go any further, how about one last hand for a wonderful Randolph band program? You have such an incredible music program here in Randolph, one that I've been very familiar with for a long time, one you should be incredibly proud of. We'll go to some of the connections that the Wind Symphony has with the Randolph Band program a little bit later, but just two things I wanted to mention. First of all, that refrigeration, that was really cool. No, tough crowd. That was really cool. Okay. Also, just to thank you to Mr. Eskin, Mr. Fantazzi, Mr. Lichtenfeld, all the Randolph teachers for hosting us here tonight. We appreciate it as well. But Mr. Fantazzi, I do have to remind you that although the Eagles won, you did need an ex-Giant to do it. So just please remember that. So without further bad jokes, we'd like to present you a piece that was commissioned by the Hanover Wind Symphony for our 40th anniversary, which was just a couple of weeks ago. It was commissioned by an up-and-coming young composer named Joe Martyr, who I think you'll be hearing a lot of in the future. And he wrote this to celebrate our 40th anniversary. It's called Home of Creation. Thank you very much. A fun piece for us to play as well. The next piece we'd like to present is Andrew Wainwright's, Illuminate. And we'd like to illuminate one unfortunate statistic that we hope Randolph will work on changing. And it's the reason we do these outreach concerts is to show people what we love to do, even though, how many of you on stage have made a profession or are making a profession in something other than music? Please raise your hand. Okay, think about that. As well as they play, they're not professional musicians. They play like it, they just didn't make livings in it. We've got engineers, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, quite literally, stay-at-home moms, anything you can think of, the people who've kept their joy of playing live music and performing in bands their entire life, and especially with a program as advanced as yours, we hope that you break the next statistic. And we'd like to illuminate or shed some light on that statistic. And that's that 90% of high school musicians, the last note they play of this concert is the last note they'll ever play. I agree. Thank you. Well said. And so to the students here and even the parents here, please let us help us to help you break that statistic and keep playing for your entire life, especially after you've worked so hard on it. This is Andrew Wainwright's Illuminate. part of the wonderful thing about this group is the passion and the energy that they put into all the music they play, and I'm so thankful to get a chance to work with them on that. It's such an important part of music. But that energy comes at a cost to old people like me, which is getting tired. So I'm going to turn the podium over to our associate conductor, Mr. Aiden Kahn. Thank you very much. Our next march is significant it's called Cosmopolitan America, and you'll recognize some of the tunes in it. But it was written in the early 1900s, and the interesting thing about it, it was written by a woman. In the early 1900s, that was a pretty big deal. She was actually called the female Sousa, and had her own band of all female musicians. This is Cosmopolitan America. Again, we like to do these educational outreach concerts, again, to prove to students they don't have to play or stop playing after high school, but it's also because we have a lot of connections with our band and the Randolph program, and anybody who's graduating and going to college locally, please feel free to look us up right down the road. I want to introduce to you Joe Melody. Joe, can you stand? Joe is a Randolph graduate, class of 1978. He was very involved in music. His freshman year was the legendary Charles Tobias' first year. His daughter Kelly is a Randolph graduate, class of 2018, also very involved in the band program. His wife Dawn was a supervisor of elementary education for Randolph School. She was also the VP of the Band Booster Association several years ago. Go. We move on to Karen and Russell Ford. They are the parents of Gregory, Caitlin, and Jonathan Ford, very much involved in the Randolph program and also our Wind Symphony. The Kahn family, Mindy Kahn. Son Eli plays piano for jazz band and symphonic orchestra. Amanda Corrado. Amanda student taught at Randolph High School last year. Elaine Schlatter has a lot of relatives that have lived in Randolph, including an aunt who made a very famous sculpture of a very famous football coach that's still in the building. Someone, what was his name, sorry? Coach Bauer. So that's still there. That's her. Over the years, I've had many connections with the Randolph Band program, but lately I've been honored to be the clinician for the symphonic band, preparing for them for the Regent Festival. So that's one of my connections, and I'm also the private trombone instructor of Greg Ford. In our percussion sector, Mr. Ken Piasek is the private instructor for Jonathan Ford on percussion. And this one I left to last because it's really cute. Margaret Soap in our saxophone section. That's you. Mrs. Soap was the private saxophone instructor of Mr. D'Egidio when he was in high school. Before we play our last piece, and then we've got a combined piece, which is something that's just truly amazing, that people from 16 to slightly older can sit and do the same activity together. Congratulations again on a wonderful community for music. It's not always about becoming a professional musician. Maybe it's just about learning an alternate way of thinking, or learning how to be passionate and help other people and get along with other people. The band is not about I, it's got to be a we. So we congratulate you. Thank you to Mr. D'Egidio, your directors, Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Lichtenfeld, Mr. Eskin as well, and all the teachers in Randolph. I also forgot actually that Mr. Noel's student talked with me back before electricity. So I'll throw that one out there too. This piece, you'd say, why did you program 2 marches in a row? Well, we didn't. That Cosmopolitan America is a march. This says Symphonic Concert March, but it's a lie. It is not a march. It's more of an overture. So this is Benelli Concert, Symphonic Concert Overture March. Thank you very much. We now have a real treat for you. Again, what other activity in the world can so many different people who maybe never met before tonight come together and play together? This is going to feature the Hanover Wind Symphony, the Randolph Wind Ensemble, and all seniors. The piece is entitled Amperita Roca, and we'll announce the conductor as we get ready. as we're just looking for one more chair, which is a great problem to have, we have a very unique experience tonight. The entire Ford family is on stage. All Fords. I did, however, have to kick their dog Bella out of rehearsal for barking during the rests. Otherwise, everybody would be here. But all Fords, take a stand so we can see all Fords on stage at the same time. Okay, wave Fords, thank you. Good, okay. I don't think we've ever had an entire family on stage. That's good. How we doing? Amanda, are you okay? Check. Okay, thank you for your patience. It is our pleasure to combined ensembles of the Randolph High School Wind Ensemble on seniors and the Hanover Wind Symphony under the direction of your director of bands, Mr. Nick Fantasia.
Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, thank you so much to the Hanover Wind Symphony. They are truly inspiring having them here tonight. Students, all of you sounded fantastic. Thank you everyone for coming out. Enjoy the night.